Welcome into Princeton High School for today's GMC baseball matchup. The Mason Comets taking on the Princeton Vikings for this one. I'm Ben Haller alongside my partner, Luke Attal. Luke, what are you excited for in this matchup?
Well, the Comets have been playing pretty good so far this season. Hoping to see some good baseball against the Vikings again today.
And we're going to take a look. Mason, obviously the visiting team, they'll get their bouts out first. And look at the batting order so far. Drew Cox, excited to see him back off of injury. He leads it off, followed by Garula, Hanley, Murphy, three powerful hitters for the Comets. And Nick Stroud, someone who's kind of come up, didn't play a lot of varsity baseball last year, but he's played well this year. Kevin West behind him, and Kelling, Laughlin, and Rutherford. And we'll get it started here tonight. Drew Cox set to take on the Vikings. First pitch to Cox, a little outside, starts off 1-0. And that's how we get it started. Cox last year, he's the Ohio University baseball commit. Had a lot of 8th, 9th in the lineup last year, but expected to have a bigger role this year. Going to start off 2-0. And this Mason team are 6-1 in the GMC so far. Just suffered their first conference loss to Middletown last week. That was a disappointing one for them.
Strong
first strike fired in there.
Strong comparison against the Vikings 0-9 in the GMC as well.
Vikings just 2-12 on the season. Like you said, winless in the GMC. Is Drew Cox going to start off with a hitter's count 3-1. But they've had their struggles, and they struggled a little bit last year. And this is a matchup, Mason-Princeton. Princeton only won a couple games in the GMC last year, but one of those was against the Comets as Drew Cox gets it started for Mason with a walk. They'll get one on for Garula, but
the right fielder, number 5.
That's a loss for Mason that really sparked their season. They didn't lose after losing to Princeton until they lost in the tournament to Vandalia Butler in the regional semifinals. That was a tough one for them, but that just shows anything can happen in baseball. Garula immediately skies one into right field, and that gets down. A base hit for Garula.
He's been a pretty consistent hitter this whole season, so it's nice to see one get him out there early.
And Cox will coast into third with that one. Runners on the corners early for Mason, for Jake Hanley, the powerful sophomore. Was the Mason Breakthrough Athlete of the Year for the spring in the ESPYs. And ESPYs coming up this year. We're all excited for that. But he was batted over 400, really led this Comet team to a very successful season. We'll see what he can do here. The runners on the corners, no outs. First pitch is high for ball one, a breaking ball. Couldn't find the zone. On the mound today, Carson McDaniel for the Vikings. Now there's a nice pitch, breaking ball in there for strike one. A lot of movement on that one. Hanley, the lefty, going to take strike one.
Hanley's already got 5 RBIs on the season so far, so hoping to add to that number here.
The 1-1 just high and outside for ball two. And he's changed in spots in the lineup a little bit. Originally started the season batting second. He's now in that 3 hole. A lot of times you see the 3 hitters, your best hitter, swing and a miss.
Strong
for the
swing
fences on that one, yeah. Now the count's even at 2.
Sometimes you want that power hitter in the third slot, though.
Yeah, they like to have Murphy in that 3rd spot, and they moved him back to 4, the cleanup role. 2-2 pitch in there for strike 3. Hanley sat down, but not before Garula swipes second base.
Now batting for the Comets, the pitcher DH. Number 4.
So the first out for Princeton, but there's also 2 in scoring position now for Michael Murphy. He's taking the mound today for the Comets, and Mason really prides themselves on their 2-way players. 2 of them especially, Brendan Garula on second base, and now up to bat Michael Murphy. Another nice breaking ball there for McDaniel.
It's Garula's 2nd steal on the season.
He's not the fastest guy on the team, but he's up there.
Yeah.
There's ball 2. Brendan Garula just recently nominated for GMC Male Athlete of the Year for the ESPYs. We'll see what he can do with a 2-0 count. Takes another one inside.
It's always nice to see those Comets getting the recognition that they deserve.
3-0 now for Garula. You'll likely see him take this pitch. Excuse me. That's Murphy. Doesn't. Down the left field line, at least one will score. They're going to wave around Garula, and he'll make it home standing. 2-0 lead early in the first inning for the Comets, courtesy of a Michael Murphy double.
Strong hit to left field. Scored 2 runs.
There's nothing like helping yourself out on the mound. And we'll see Nick Stroud now step in for the Comets. For Murphy, his first 2 RBIs of the game. That one's fouled away by Stroud, out of play. No one's able to get there. Nick Stroud we kind of talked about. Didn't play a whole lot of varsity last year, but he's off to a really nice start in his junior season, excuse me. As McDaniel fires a strike in there.
Another breaking ball. Seen a lot of those today.
McDaniel doesn't have a ton of velocity, but like you said, he gets a lot of movement on his pitches. And that one swung on right to the shortstop. And they're going to get the out at third base. And they say safe. That was a gutsy move by Murphy. A soft ground ball right to the shortstop, and he took third anyway. Didn't need to, no force out, but it pays off. I think that might have been a mistake by Murphy to take off. I don't think he meant to, but
looks like he's got his hands on his heads.
It pays off for him anyway, and Kevin West now has got a runner on the corners. West struggled last year, at the plate at least. Very solid defensively, but this year he has really picked it up. Kind of a revenge tour for him. And he's going to square around a bunt. That one's popped up. It'll go foul. But we know what he's capable of defensively, and it's really nice for him to prove himself at the plate as a hitter this year.
Yeah, West with already 10 hits and 4 RBIs on the season. Looking like might be another one here with the runner on third.
If he can get a sacrifice or anything and bring Murphy home. The 0-1's high for ball 1 to West. Two nothing early in the first for the Comets. The 1-1, another base hit. That will be an RBI for Kevin West. Michael Murphy scores easily. As the Comets take a 3-0 lead. Hits coming early.
Add that one to the RBI count.
I think you called that one, Luke. I was worried. You might have jinxed him here, but the bases will be loaded now for the sophomore, Alex Kelling. Only one out in the inning. McDaniel with some trouble early here, and he's not out of it yet. Kelling in left field for today's game takes ball 1. The 1-0 inside. Kelling's another guy who didn't play varsity last year. He got to swing in the tournament when they pull some JV guys up. They like to use him as a base runner, but finally getting some real varsity experience this year. He'll take another one inside.
Yeah, you talk about a guy who has some speed. Kelling can move it when he needs to.
First and second now for Kelling and 2-0 count. See, that was 3-0. That's ball 4 to Kelling. Lost track of the count, and that will load the bases now. James Laughlin Yeah, I talked to Laughlin before the game. He likes this field a lot. Had a huge double that sparked a little run in his season last year at Princeton. And he's got a golden opportunity here. Bases loaded, only one out, and coaches want to talk it over with McDaniel. Mason has a lot of depth at the catcher position. Brady Bly having a very good season, batting over 500. Just ridiculous. James Laughlin's very talented, and Rutherford, obviously, the Auburn commit. They like to use him a lot at third base, but he makes his home at catcher. We'll see if Laughlin can support here. First pitch of the A-B, skied high. Center fielder coming in, miscommunication. It's just going to be the shortstop who will take it for out number 2. No runners will advance. And unproductive out there from Laughlin, and Mason bats around now with Mark Rutherford, the third baseman up.
Yeah, as you were mentioning earlier, when you got guys that can bat and field, it makes for some pretty fun baseball.
Yeah, Rutherford's very solid over there at third base. Very good defensive catcher as well. And a good righty on lefty matchup here against McDaniel, but that one's a bouncer. Coming in to take it, and out number 3 on the inning. So McDaniel able to get out of the inning, but not before Mason takes a 3-0 lead over the Vikings. Stay with us here for the rest of this one. Welcome back here to Princeton High School. Comets get off to an early 3-0 lead, and on the mound is going to be Michael Murphy. We talked about him at the plate. He had 2 RBIs in the first, and here's what he's looking like on the season. 1-0 record, a 1.4 ERA, and a very strong outing last time out. 5 innings pitched with 9 strikeouts, and we'll see what he can do here. First pitch, ball 1 in there to Edrington. Another one going to be taken outside. Here's Andrew Edrington, the shortstop for Princeton. Had a very strong year last year. One of the key returners for the Vikings. A nice grounder up the middle. No one's able to get to that one. And Princeton gets it started off with a single, courtesy of Andrew Edrington.
Now batting for the Vikings, second baseman, number 6, Jamie Spears.
And here's Jamie Spears, the second baseman, coming up. Murphy only threw 3 pitches in that at-bat. First pitch here, painting the corner down and outside, but umpire liking it, strike 1. Spears going to turn around a bunt, and Hanley's just going to let that one go foul. Edrington got a really good jump to second, so a smart move by Hanley at first base to let that one go. And Spears will be down on the count now, 0-2. The 0-2 for Murphy. In there, strike 3 on 3 pitches. A strikeout looking, and Spears is not happy. He slams his bat, and that's the first out of the inning for Murphy.
The left fielder, number 5, Derek Bush, Jr.
Here's Derek Bush, the left fielder. Coming up for the Vikings, 1 on, 1 out.
As you were mentioning earlier, Murphy's been pitching pretty good this season. That was his 16th strikeout of the season.
Bush is going to foul this one back. Good start to the count for Murphy. We're going to take a look how Mason lines up defensively here. Kevin West, Garula, and Kelling. Kelling kind of new to the outfield so far on the season. He'll take left. Rutherford and Cox on the left side of the infield. And it'll be Stroud and Hanley on the right. And then we talked about James Laughlin coming in, wanting to have a strong game at a field he loves. Behind the plate, he'll receive Murphy. Bush fouls another one back, makes it an 0-2 count. And Murphy, too, very efficient at bats if he can get another strike here. Murphy got him right where he wants him. A little far outside, but they're going to call a strike 3 on that. That's a second strikeout looking of the inning, and Murphy gets out of it without any damage. Comets keep a 3-0 lead going into the second. Princeton High School Comets off to a 3-0 lead early in the first inning. And they'll get it started right where they left off in the top of the lineup now. Drew Cox leads it off. Mason bat around the first inning.
It's nice to see Drew Cox out here and playing again after his injury.
The Ohio University commit, only a junior, so in a couple of years he'll be a Bobcat. Very talented defensively shortstop, but he's got a good bat too. First pitch for McDaniels on the outside corner once again. It's a strike. Umpires had a very large strike zone today. Another one that time too far outside. Umpire can't give it to him. Evens the count at 1. McDaniel, the lefty's working pretty quick today. He gets another one in that corner. That one too low, evens count back at 2. Cox led the game off with a single. That's what got the rally going for Mason. It's always nice to see a bat from your leadoff hitter. The 2-2 just outside. It'll be ball number 3. Full count pitch. That one popped up behind the plate. Count stays full. The payoff. Another one fouled off to the right. McDaniel struggled in the first, but he was pretty unlucky too. That play that got Murphy to third, it shouldn't have happened. This one grounded right back at the second baseman. Gonna have to get it there quick, and he does. Out number 1 for Princeton.
That's play 6.
That'll bring Garula up to the plate.
5, right fielder, Brendan Garula.
Didn't see too many breaking balls from McDaniels there in that at bat. You saw him working that so much in the first inning.
Yeah, he mixes his pitches well. We talked about he lacks sometimes velocity-wise. He finds a corner again. That was a breaking ball. You saw it there.
Must have heard me.
Coach Luke. The 0-1, that one's popped right up to the second baseman. Going to be out number 2 of the inning. And McDaniel already had a more efficient inning than the first.
First baseman, number 34, Jacob Hanley.
And that'll bring the sophomore Hanley to the plate.
Hanley, another guy who's pretty young, but definitely has a lot of talent.
That breaking ball almost caught the inside corner. Umpire lays off for ball 1. And that one smoked right back at the pitcher, but the mound stopped it a little bit. Throw on to first base for out number 3, a 1-2-3 inning for McDaniel.
1.5.
The score stays 3-0.
Mason 3, your Princeton Vikings coming back.